Okay, so maybe that last mission things didn't really go so well. The mission itself was a total success. The probe went where we wanted it to go. The launch vehicle launched and it came back to a perfect landing, re-entry, recovered everything. But we barely broke even on our current budget. It's because I favor these ridiculously expensive launch vehicles. I suppose I could drop back to just boring old rockets. Or I've got another idea here. I've got another idea. See, look at some of these missions that are available to me. We have two missions here. Crash for Science. This is what we're going to do is we're going to crash a probe into the surface of the moon. It's gonna crash. It'll throw up a whole big bunch of dust. And they're gonna take all kinds of pictures of it. And they're going to learn about what the moon is made out of. We have an identical mission for Minmus, because anything the moon gets is what I was trying to say. Minmus also gets. So there's two fairly identical missions that we need like small probes for. We also have this mission that we can do, Hoist the Hubble. Science guys are so happy about the previous telescope, they went nuts and built an even bigger one. You can place the Orden Industries large telescope into a circular 600-kilometer orbit, or substitute any other 2 tons equipment. We're not going to substitute it. We're going to use the Orden Industries large telescope. And we also have this mission available, more Kerbals. If this is back, I wrote this back when I was thinking that we're going to be doing conventional rockets, but if we're going to send a multi-Kerbal crew to a moon and back, we'll need a way to return them without cooking or crushing them any more than absolutely necessary. Send 3 Kerbals in one vehicle into Kerbin orbit, then land safely. I think if I use my rock, you can't just say rock. You have to really pronounce it just so you know it's awesome. Rock. Anyway, if I used a rock, I believe that I can do the more Kerbals. It goes with 2 Kerbals by default. I just have to add 1 more crew member. And we can hoist the Hubble. And we can do 2 small probes. I think we can do 4 missions in 1 launch. Come to think of it, what is this one? Around the moon? Am I ready to do this one as well? Could I get away with doing 5 missions in 1 launch? Send 3 Kerbals into orbit around the moon and return them to Kerbin. Oh, there's an idea. Oh, wait a second. This one is not supposed to be... Yeah, somehow I screwed this up. This one is not supposed to be available yet. We're supposed to... I screwed something up. These 2 are supposed to wait on getting more Kerbals, getting 3.1. And also have, let's think on this other thing that we can do. This is also, we have these missions to land a probe on the moon. Could I do the impact missions and the landing of probes? That may be able to do. Yeah, we may be able to do both the crashing missions, both of the landing the probe, the Hubble, and more Kerbals. Let's look at it. It may be kind of insanely complicated. It may be overreaching, but come on, it's what I do. Select that mission. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Let's take a look at that. So we'll need, actually, let's get into here first. If I'm going to use the rock, then I get the 3 Kerbals into orbit and back for free. I don't have to do anything new in addition to that. Let's take a look, and let me see. Here's our telescope. Okay. Let me see. What kind of resources does this thing have? Yeah, we need to add some more to this. It needs a little booster, and it needs a little bit of RCS. It is its own probe core. It needs to have like a couple of batteries, and then we can mount this thing, and then we'll attach like a docking port back there where it'll be in the base of the Rock's cargo bay. Okay, so yeah, let's set a few things up. Actually, no, hang on. Here's how we'll do this. Go to New. Let's start this over. Game is thinking about it. Go to Utility, because we can start with these docking ports. Right? Yeah. We need a standard clampetron. We don't need one of the really big ones. Good. And one of these guys, turn them upside down. Then we'll go to pods. We'll grab this guy. And we'll attach him like that. And that way we can also, add things to it if necessary. We can go and we can service the vehicle in the future. Let me see. This comes with its own... here, we'll go ahead and we'll name it. This is the Hubble. I suppose I could come up with some kind of cutesy name for it. I just really don't feel like it. It's the Hubble. It's what it is. Okay, let's add a few more batteries to it. Let's give it a few of the little RCS tanks. We'll do like 2 sets of these guys. Give them a couple RCS ports up here, a couple RCS ports down there. Now we'll do just the little solar panels, just as a precaution against stupidity. Because anybody who's played Kerbal Space Program any amount of time at all, you're going to know, you're going to recognize what I mean, that you occasionally need a couple of precautions against stupidity, because stupidity just happens in this game. Count on it. Count on it. Make provision for it in your plans. Anything else it needs? It's got RCS, it's got battery, it's got solar panels, it is its own control pod. Oh, that's right, we're gonna... Man, I'm stupid. Yeah, see, as precautions against stupidity. It's not going to put itself into orbit just with RCS, is it? Oh, there's an idea. Conveniently shaped fuel tank. It is kind of conveniently shaped, isn't it? Oops, no, that's not the way that works. Put it on there like that. Put that on there like that. In which case, okay, so what is this thing? Has 1,000 delta V. That should actually be enough. I mean, the rock is going to put it in the orbit. This just needs to get itself into a higher orbit. That should be just fine. Let's actually take all these, put them down here like this. That way we can scoot the RCS ports down to a more reasonable location again. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Grab this. Save. This is definitely a probe. This is the Hubble. Save. Alright, now I want to go and take a look at exactly how much room inside the Rock's cargo bay will this thing take. 262 parts. Yeah, we're definitely going to be pushing part limits on this thing. But we got the... I grabbed that, the fixed version of Dynamic Warp. Somebody posted that. I think the post disappeared. Maybe you didn't follow all the licensing just exactly correct, but I got it anyway. Okay, so for our purposes, we're not going to start with that thing in there. We're going to start with a smaller docking port. Yeah, stock clampetron. Let me see, we need to... if you turn on part clipping, you can just directly connect this thing without it getting all stupid. Which, I appreciate it when things are not stupid. Yeah, okay, that worked. It was just I couldn't see what it was doing. We're going to have to go seriously into debt when it comes to time to launch this thing, but whenever all the missions are complete, then we should be, it should be worth it. Let's load subassembly, load the probe, load the Hubble. Here we go. Okay, did that connect the way it was supposed to? I don't want it to be It doesn't really look like it did. Can we Control Z that? Yeah, there we go. That is a superior connection. Okay. So that takes just not even half of my cargo bay. Let's put some struts into this thing. Let me see after we made the changes. This, yeah, still got a delta V of over 6,000. Thrust weight ratio 1.5. Okay, now the next step is in this forward part of the cargo bay. I want to have two identical probes. They will have two different pieces. One piece will be to go to a lander. One for the moon, one for Minmus, and the other will be the transition stage. I need to set it up so it'll crash into the surface of the moons. Okay, I'm back. I imagine this is going to be part of the same episode, although things that happen. Really, I think I wasted like over an hour, like an hour and a half maybe of footage. I had this plan. I had this fantastic plan of using. Hang on here. How much do these things weigh? See, I'm already interrupting myself. I don't need that. It's way too heavy. I had this fantastic plan of using two long skinny probes side by side and fitting them side by side inside of the rock's cargo bay, and I put them all together and I made sure they worked, and they just wouldn't fit. I fought with the things for like 45 minutes straight after having assembled the whole probes and twisting and turning them and rotating them and looking at it, and they just won't fit. You can't get two of them. So we're abandoning the long skinny probe idea, as that turned out to be a flawed concept. Maybe you could fit two of them side by side, but you'd have to keep that design feature in mind through the entire construction of the entire thing. We are abandoning that, and instead of long skinny, instead of cigar, we're going pancake. I'm going to put a lander together and a transition stage, and we're going to make these like as short as possible. Matter of fact, I'm not even stack that on there. We're going to do it this way. Maybe you don't need to know. It's a brand new microphone, and like the last video was also or actually probably the first part of this video was done with the new microphone, having to adjust to this thing. That I can't have the thing close to my face. It's because then we get all this weird, this unpleasant distortion. Select mission package, go to space race. Let me see. I think we're going to be looking at like these guys down here. I want to take a look at what this is. Our empty vehicle needs to mass at least 1 ton in order to carry enough scientific equipment. Here it is. Yeah. Boom. Like that. What does this thing have? 3,700 Delta V? That is just flat out absurd. That is flat out absurd. This structure by itself could just very nearly go into orbit. Okay, let's hang some legs on it. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of absurd. I like it. Can we make this fuel tank even smaller? Because really, we've got so much Delta V, and this thing, it just has to land. It doesn't... okay, that is as small as the procedural fuel tank is willing to go. It's okay. 2,400 Delta V. Maybe I should look at getting rid of this this pancake. Yeah, that takes it down to 2.7. Okay, yeah, this thing is already well heavy enough for that purpose. I remember my purpose in giving the weight restriction to that mission was to just to keep it from being too easy. But I think that's we've already well realized that goal. Cool. 1,431. Do you think that's enough for landing? I believe it probably is. 31. So we're just going to use a fraction of the thrust. Let's actually take a look at options, getting rid of that thing. And instead doing something with these, with our other engines. You know, like our radially attached engines. Maybe even the stock, these guys. Yeah. Can I select it? Can I not select it? Oh, there we go. Maybe I just wasn't hearing it properly. And what do these things have apiece? 20 apiece. So there's 80. Yeah, there's 80 thrust. Thrust to weight ratio. It's still okay. Let's reference bodies. What's the thrust to weight ratio on the moon? It's not updating. Oh, have we broken our? I think we've broken our engineer again. It does that sometimes. Let's close this. Yeah, it's not updating correctly, which means I was getting faulty data with some of these past decisions. What else can I do with some of these guys? Can we even just use a little engine like that? Okay, before I do that, let's save what I have at the moment. Okay, what did I call that last one? The one that I decided I wasn't going to record. I call it Moonlander Bot 1. This is going to be Moonlander Bot 2. I think I am not actually even capable of showing you Moonlander Bot 1 because I was having such RAM difficulties with mods. I went and removed some of those mod parts. Let's save that one. Good. Yeah, let's exit out of here and get back into it and see if we can wake our engineer up. Okay, yeah, we're back. Yeah, we just sometimes I've noticed this, especially when using the procedural fuel tanks. The flight engineer, the engineer was never intended to work with that piece, so it's it can occasionally become confused. All right, so let's take a look. Reference bodies, moon. Yeah, oop, no, main display. We want to have that on there. Let's go ahead and stick some of our little engines back on this thing. Maybe even these guys. Let's find out. Let's go times 4 to start out with. Doesn't want to stick. There, it'll stick over there. And the moon. Okay, we have enough delta V. Just 4 of them is already enough delta V. Look at that. Yeah, 1500, that's enough. Thrust to weight ratio of 4, 3-minute burn. That is plenty respectable for my purposes. Cool. I think I'm pleased with this little vehicle. Moonlander Bot 2. Save that one. And now we just need to set up the transfer stage. See what this thing has to do. Let's pull this over here. Let's keep in mind what the problems that I ran into with the previous design. This to HL, yeah, this one. Here we go. I need. Okay, this thing needs to fit. It'll dock up here inside of the rock. Hello, hello, hello. Why can't I put this down? There we go. It and its transfer stage will have to fit in here, and I have to be able to fit 2 of these identical in a stack. I'm very, very confident we can make this fit. Very confident. I do not foresee any problems with it. Yeah, these are the constraints that we're going to use if we're going to be using this internal cargo bay like that and trying to have multiple missions. Definitely, you'll probably see the return. We'll have more of these Pancake style vehicles because it just ends up working that way. Okay, now where's our little flat engine again? Propulsion, flat engine. Here it is. This guy. Okay, so that stage, 3,472. That's actually significantly more than we need. See, this has battery. Let's shrink that tank down. See if our engineer piece. No, it's still updating. It kind of freaked out for a second. Let's give it an even 2,000. I believe that's still more than we need. Okay, That's cool. Do I need any... Do you think I need any additional reaction wheels? I'm thinking that as small as this overall vehicle is, we'll get away just fine. We don't need that. Let's just take a look just to be certain. And pull our cargo bay out and make certain that this thing by itself uses less than half of the available space. Yeah, significantly less than half. Of course this will fit. And it's significantly less pieces than the previous design. Yeah, so you realize, here, let's revert this flight. Revert to vehicle assembly. You realize that this mission, if it works correctly as I'm planning it, we're going to launch the rock. And the rock is going to go into orbit with no fewer than 5 totally separate, independent spacecraft loaded inside the cargo bay. That's kind of absurd, actually. But I'm pleased about the idea. Yeah, this is not kind of absurd. It is just flat out absurd. You know, I may even be able to set these. I'm thinking about how I'm going to load these in the cargo bay. Yeah, we'll get there. First of all, let's save the sub-assembly. Save sub. This goes to probe. Actually, it's a probe and it's a lander. But this is Moon Lander Bot 2. Even though Lander Bot 1 will never see the light of day. It was a flawed design from the beginning.